popping sweat and the asphalt smell. The demon Mrs. Weaver sure had a lot to show and tell, while she never showed a toe, and it's probably just as well. Her chest, how it heaved you so when she told us of the ghost. The forbidden fruit wears a rayon suit. Get me out of here, kids. You're busting up my line, breaking my mind, and I don't swim so well. That was my first day in hell. Oh, Jesus, here's another wanting message to get through. With the apocalypse upon us, I've had a change of view. I don't believe my teachers, but I still believe in you. I know down my sins are on your shoulders as you bled and wept, but that you thought of me while you were on a tree, well, that's just simply too much for me to accept. You'd understand. Still, I am blue. Nothing in common with you. I'm not too bright, but I'm nobody's fool. I know I stopped learning the day I started school. You know, I played in a couple of bands in my hometown before I moved to Lexington for college, and then kind of hung it up, went to school for a few years, and eventually left school and started a band with some really good friends of mine called The Fakes. We were kind of an indie rock band, like Modest Mouse, sort of Built to Spill vein band. Used to play around Lexington a lot. Really good friends. Played with John Ferguson from Big Fresh. Always good friends with those guys. Kind of ran around, and there was a scene down in Lexington, the Dame scene. I don't know if you're familiar with that. You're part of that. Wrote a lot of songs, put out a lot of albums. That was, a big focus for a long time. then got lucky, started playing with Jim McIntyre in a band called Von Hemling, and an Elephant Six band. Some of the folks from E6 moved to Lexington for some reason, and got to get to know them. Got to play with Hillary Sydney, played in High Watermarks with her, and that was my first gig as a bass player. Her and Pear, great, great folks. Power pop is my favorite kind of music. I have trouble writing that kind of music, but I love to play it. Actually love playing other people's songs maybe more than I like writing my own. I feel like I can hopefully bring something to it, or at the very least I can do what they want me to do. Try to. So I did that for a few years, till about 2005, and we kept playing, but kind of slowed down for a little while. And at that point, I went back to school and finished up, and my then girlfriend, now wife, moved here to Louisville. Started working here, and again, kind of hung up music for a little bit. I was a lot of the songs recordings that I just put out, I recorded during that period of time because I didn't have a band to play in, but I always wanted to keep writing. Had a lot of a backlog of songs that I hadn't recorded over the years. Some even left over from the Fakes days back in 2003. Didn't get to record them until 2010, 2009, and now I'm just playing them live. So did that, and got some more friends together. A couple members from the Fakes, members of the old band Bluefoot, Joe West from Bluefoot, a buddy of mine, John Clark. We started a band called Real Numbers, and gigged my songs live for about a year. Also during that time is when I started playing with Whistle Peak around 2009. My first gig with them was Lebowski Fest in 2009. And still with Whistle Peak, played in Second Story Man briefly. Great experience.
Would you play in Second Story Man?
Played bass in Second Story Man, yeah. It's funny, I never considered myself a bass player, but I would play some bass in the Fakes. We all switched instruments. We'd all play bass, except for the drummer.
Yeah.
Always played drums. It wasn't until the High Watermarks that I picked up a regular, just a committed bass gig, and loved it. It was one of the things, when the opening came up in Whistle Peak for a bass player, I jumped at the chance because I felt like I could do something on bass with them. Just felt really comfortable with it. And also, I didn't need to bring anything as far as guitar goes. They had that covered, that's the piece I was ready to fill in.
Yeah. How did that process go? Was it an audition where you came in and did a couple songs, or did you know them before?
I knew Billy back. Billy Pito went to UK as well, so I knew him. We worked in a restaurant together down there. But actually, I knew him way before we worked in the restaurant. We had lots of friends in common. We were pals from way back, and I kind of found out that they needed somebody, and I kind of begged them for the job.
Yeah.
I was dying to play with them, really with any band, but that wasn't it. I really, I could just see the potential for me in that band, and it's just been a blast.